you in that conflict right now with your helping other people's creations versus you getting to create?
Well, you know, it's interesting. This is a concept that I talk about too, because I think that a lot of the people that I work with have this conflict in some way or another as well. So I think what we have a tendency to do is create this like pendulum swing between parts of ourselves.
Yes.
The story was, when I'm over here being the person that helps other people, there's no room and space for me as an artist. And then I'd get, the little kid in me would get really pissed off and throw tantrum and tear everything down. And then I'd come over here and be like, I'm just an artist. I'm an artist. And then that would kind of burn down a little bit too, because for one, I needed the security and foundation to be an artist. And when I was over here, I had abandoned that, what could give me that. And so there was that. And then there was also the piece of, when you're really fully focused on your art, that's kind of intense. It's like staring at the sun.
Yes.
You know, you really shouldn't do that, stare at the sun. Unless
heard
you
this
have the
rumor.
appropriate glasses. I don't know. So it for me, I think some people are really great at focusing on their art. But for me that proved to be not so healthy either. So I'd be back and forth in these pendulum swings, making both of my worlds each other's enemy. And I always joke that like, if the artist self doesn't get her time in the midst of things, it's like she's back there with like a box of matches going, am I gonna burn it down with this one? You know, like that's like the sabotage will show up. She's like, I'm showing you the box of matches. I'm just lighting them and throwing them in the trash right now, but you know, something could happen. I mean, there's like a couch right here, you know.
Even describing this creative aspect, this more business person aspect, you were talking about a process that we do in NLP.
Yeah.
So one of the processes I do with people is to recognize, and we talk about these aspects of ourselves or parts, we talk about them as parts. And essentially, they're created and they seem as though that they're at odds.
Yeah.
The thing is that they actually have parts of us, aspects of our personality were either split off in moments of trauma or they were created for different exploration, but they were all created from the same whole. They're split off from the same whole, and it turns out that both of your parts usually have the same highest intention. They may not have the same job that they do.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't have the same strategies. Like your business person isn't there with the matches, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In the corner trying to like, I'm gonna burn this down.
Yeah.
They seem to be at odds, but if you like go globally, they're from the same place, which is you.
Yeah.
And they have different ways of expressing the core of who you are.
Right.
But they both tend to have, all of ourselves that seem to be at odds have the same highest intention.